came out, I was chatting with Joe. He was calm as a cucumber. And we kind of reconnected, reminding ourselves where we kind of knew each other. We both were a part of Immaculata. I was a chaplain, he was a football hero. I was a popular. But I tell that story about how I used to kind of like drive the nuns crazy. There's no nuns here, are there? I used to drive the nuns crazy because on the first Friday Masses, Sister Margaret Mary Peter would always sit back there, and she had to adjust the schedule. So she figured a first Friday Mass would take 45 minutes. It was Monsignor Kennedy. And so, but when Father Sean did it, then it would be a little longer. So she would figure, well, you might have 25 minutes for a class. I talk and talk and talk, and then she'd almost see herself calculating, so we're down to 20 minutes classes. I keep on talking. The kids would nod and they'd listen, and I was like, wow, this is great. This whole school of kids will listen to my homily. It took me a couple Masses to realize they kept nodding and keep me talking because their classes shrunk in size. Talking to people crazy. Margie, I won't do it to you today. It really matters not what I say today. Today is all about them, the two of them, and all of you. Margie and Joe, just look out there. There's your life. Your mom, your dad, your siblings, your aunts and uncles, relatives, friends, all those people you love, and even more waiting for the party. And it's just worth taking a moment to kind of soaking this in. This is, as I said, a sacred moment. And Margie's been planning and planning and planning. And probably many of us, when we found out Joe finally proposed, you did let her propose, right? Okay. So after you proposed, and there was this humongous countdown. You could hardly wait for today to arrive. And it has. And you probably hardly believe that this day is flying by. For hours now, you've been waiting to get here to experience this. So I invite you just to sit back and relax and truly enjoy the moment. Because no matter how long I talk, I can talk. I am Irish. Later on tonight, it'll seem like a twinkle of an eye. This sacred time will be past. So I invite you to be very present to it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Once in a lifetime, we're going to watch Margie and Joe stand in front of the altar, in front of their parents, and their family and friends, and everyone that loves them. They can hold hands. They can be a little nervous, I'm guessing. Good thing Margie has this big dress. That's why brides get big dresses, to hide the knocking knees. Poor Joe, you're probably going to see his knees knocking a little more. They'll be nervous. You know something? They'll be nervous, but they're going to look into each other's eyes and find a little peace, find a little comfort there. And that's truly a symbol for what life's all about. Because life will be nerve-wracking at times. If you just keep on holding hands and looking into each other's eyes, you'll get through it. If you don't believe me, look at your moms and dads. This day is special for moms and dads too, because they can hardly believe that they're the ones sitting there now. They don't think they can be old enough to be sitting out there as parents. They remember they were there. I'm guessing they're a little more comfortable out here. And you look up there and saying, God bless them, they don't have a clue what they're getting themselves into. And that's probably true. But as we know, God is a God of surprises. And our God invites us to live life. And a life blessed by God. And as we've heard in our readings today, a life blessed by God is an adventure. It's a holy adventure. And for Margie and Joe, this is a very sacred moment, beginning their adventure together. Everything that's happened before this prepared them to be here. And this moment on is meant to be shared. They're meant to go through life hand in hand, side by side, heart to heart, and just enjoy it. And realize they don't walk alone. That's one reason we invite our family and friends to celebrate this, to be with us, to remind us life's about living. For all you Catholic school buffs out there, you might know or not know, today is a very special celebration within the octave of Christmas, which normally falls on the Sunday within the octave of Christmas, the Feast of the Holy Family. What a better feast to get married on than the Holy Family. To realize this is what God had in store for us. To reach out and share our heart and our lives with another. as their family and friends, we come and we ask God to just help us to enjoy this time and to help us celebrate. Before we go off to the reception and you dance and drink and eat and dance and drink and dance and fall over, before we go there, we're going to celebrate here at the Eucharist and remind ourselves that a family does get strength, does deepen that bond by gathering around the table. And for us, as believers, we realize this is a sacred place. It's a table and it's an altar. We know table, family gathered on table, but an altar, that's a place of sacrifice. That's a place where out of love, we are willing to suffer for others. And yes, Margie and Joe will have that experience as well. Ask your moms and dads. From the moment they held you in their arms as newborn children, their lives changed forever. Because here there was this child that they created out of love and was willing to give their life for. Now whose life is more important than their very own. That's the heart of a parent. And one day, you're going to have four people praying very hard that day comes pretty soon. They're going to pray that an experience you enjoy. And in a real way, this day is completed when you actually hold a child that you create out of love and expand your family. And then, when you do that, and again, ask your moms and dads, all of a sudden look at God way differently. And all of a sudden, God isn't just about rules and regulations. God is about this being who creates miracles and gives us miracles out of love. So we ask God today to bless Margie and Joe, to open their hearts and their minds, and just help them to hold hands as they go forth to live life together. And to realize every step of the way, the good times, the bad times, that God is there. One of the reasons we wear white as a priest is to remind ourselves this is a joyful, tremendously joyful experience. We also have white and gold for the church, and two festive colors. But you notice there's little black spots in them too. And for me, that's kind of the sharp thing I kind of liked about it. But it kind of is symbolic for us. It reminds us, we listen to those readings that Margie and Joe picked out, and it was all about if you live in the ways of God, God will bless you. You'll be aware of His presence. He'll bless your love. He'll bless your family. He'll bless the path you walk. But along that path, there'll be moments. There'll be dark moments. But when you enjoy them together, when Margie and Joe hold hands and tough it out, like every other couple toughed it out through a difficult time, you find them look back and realize those tough moments in life is what really makes the rest of it beautiful. And we can sit here and say, Margie and Joe, we just wish you lots of love, lots of good luck. Well, baloney luck. It's hard work. And love is tough. Love at times, ask your moms and dads, it's a decision at moments. It's never easy. And it also tells you the times that are the darkest, the difficult times. Those are the times when they got through them that changed them, deepened their love for each other. That's how the human heart works. I just want to leave with this one last thought. You might say, or you might say to me, okay, Father, what do you think the secret of a successful marriage is? I think there is one, actually. And I would suggest it's a little ingredient that we call forgiveness. It's not about asking for forgiveness. That's the easy thing. Plenty of times Joe's in the doghouse. Just go, honey, please, no. And he'll try that little high school charm he used to do. It's not about that. The real beauty is when Margie says, yeah, Joe, you hurt me, but I do forgive you. And then that is what renews a broken relationship. Is the one that's hurt. When they offer that wonderful gift of forgiveness that binds that wound, heals that wound. Yes, we have to be humble. They both have to be humble enough to ask for forgiveness and to man up and say, yes, I was wrong. unfortunately, our society, our culture says, you know, once you've been hurt, once it's not fun anymore, we can walk away. A beautiful line from the reading. What God has joined, man must not divide. My prayer for you guys is that you really believe, they sincerely believe in those vows you have to exchange. And realize that they're not stagnant, romantic words we say today. And what's your wedding date, by the way, Joe? December 30th. Never forget that number. If you do, it cost you a very expensive piece of furniture. But as you exchange those words today, yes, they're kind of spoken in time and history, but they're alive. And the reason they're alive is because they're sacramental. So every time you struggle to love each other, every time you struggle to trust each other, every time you struggle to forgive each other, then God is working in those vows. You're a sacrament, a living sacrament. That's why we ask you moms to light those candles. They lit those candles, and for us as Christians, we believe that a lit candle is a sign of the presence of Christ. By virtue of the fact of your baptism, you're both the light of the world. And after you exchange vows, we bless rings, and you come and light that center candle to remind us that now you create a bond of love. You become a couple. We leave those two side candles lit to remind us that it takes two individuals giving their all to make that one candle burn. And also a little different, which I've never done before. Normally I ask our bride and groom to hold a little plate with their rings. A little quick pop quiz. Justin, do you have rings? You do? Okay. You did make me nervous. We'd only put them on a little plate. But today I'm going to ask Mark and Joe to place them on the little crucifix that you have. And use that as a little dish reminder for yourselves as you hold that cross and you hold hands and you hold those rings balanced on that cross to remind yourselves that your love grows and deepens. God's love becomes more manifest in your lives when you realize that God will bless you even in the hardships of life and get through the tough times. That's when you'll grow and deepen. That's when you realize these vows you're saying today are forever. And you have the power to live them forever. No matter what our society or culture says. These vows are meant to be lived all the days of your life. And that's our prayer for you. Is that you find strength and hope and joy in living those vows. And being God's presence in the world. Because we ought to look at you as a couple and say, yeah, there's a God of love. Look at them, they love each other. Look how they love others. So that's our prayer for you. We'll take a moment, just kind of recollect ourselves and pause and realize that we're about to experience the moment we've waited so long for. Margie and